This video is a recap of all the paintings that I made this year in 2025. I'm going to talk about a few of them. Alright, so starting off the year on January 2nd. Is that it? Yep, January 2nd, baby. I did this painting titled The Chance of this four-arm freak lady with two swords. That's very epic. And this wiggly worm-looking background. Not a big fan of those colors, however, I do like that poncho. The epic flowers. They're very good. Alright. On January 4th, I created Linda Hand, which is this weird military freak girl with fucked up eyeball stuff going on. And she's holding a big gun, about to blast the big demon creature in the background. He's got glowy spots. You can definitely tell those are his weak points. You're supposed to shoot those first, and then it does big damage. And there's also a lamppost there, because I like lamps. on January 7th, I finished Bone Enjoyer. I don't like this. I do like the skulls, but... And the skull outfit, that's pretty cool. I like the teeth. The teeth belt goes hard. Yes, this is the Bone Enjoyer. Alright, on January 13th, I must have lost my mind because I made this. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. It's hard to really explain it all. I guess the most important thing here is this little lollipop guy. I like him a lot. And there's a TV in the background, and somebody is, I don't know, trying to sell something, I think. He's trying to sell this device. I guess that's what's going on. I really don't know. This bitch has got a couple different eyes in different spots. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave this. Alright, on January 14th, I did Get Real. I made this. This is for a shirt. It was. I didn't make the shirt. That's what it is. It's my character, Lena. She's got her cigarette. She's got her epic sword. Her big skeletal leg thingy and armor. There's a big skull with a bunch of tubes in the background and a little rib cage down there in the bottom right with an eyeball in it. I fuck with that. That's good. And obviously the big old catchphrase. My motto in life. What I like to tell people in general, you know, when they're being sad and moody, I like to just tell them to get real. People say I'm an asshole, but I think I'm just real, you know. All right, on January 16th, I did The Last Slice, which is a video on my YouTube channel in which I explain the story behind this image. It is a wonderful image. You can see the nasty gnome nibbling on his pizza slice. That's a good looking pizza though. I really fucking nailed that. And then you got Tina and Jermaine in the background, arm wrestling over the last slice. But little do they know, the nasty gnome is eating that shit up. That foul little wretched man. And you can also see that they're in a spaceship because there's stars and planets in the background here. That actually looks really good. It doesn't look great. I mean, it looks like it looks like an image on the wall, but that wasn't, you know. I think I got my point across with it. On January 20th, I did Playing, which is this little fucking weird woman playing this weird instrument. It's very bizarre. This little cape, this little freak cape going on. The thing's making little fucking little instrument notes come out. You got these little like cat hand things in her ears. Or I mean cat paw ears on her head. It's very interesting stuff. I just like this one. It's not actually finished, but it's a good concept, it's a good idea. Right, on February 2nd, I made the Board Freaks. These are the Board Freaks. One of these characters was inspired by my Sims 2 character, because The Sims 2 came out again this year. He was snippy snapping, clicking, clacking his fingertips. I was thinking about aliens, so there's an alien there, there's some candy, not sure why. And then there's this freak, because I was bored. That's it. I also like this little red fella. He looks real giddy. I think I could just draw these characters for the rest of my life, like these little guys, and I'd be happy. Alright, on February 5th, I made insane.png. Yeah, this is the life of Serena. She's unfortunately surrounded by freaks. The worst of the worst. You got a two-headed lady holding her disgusting dog. The nubby dog. You got the fish fellas, which they actually look pretty chill. They look pretty sweet. Like, I'd hang out with these guys. They're a vibe. You got this, foul creature with his little mushroom-looking hat. Almost umbrella-looking. You got this turnip bitch choking out a dog with 3 eyes and horns and just 2 legs. Man, I really don't remember drawing this thing, but that's good. And then you got this very uncomfortable man being seduced, and a jive Afro black man watching. He's observing. And then there's also the dog machine in the back, which I kind of just interpret as the police. It's the police, and they're coming to to arrest these freaks. And you can see some weird me trying to draw buildings, but not actually drawing buildings in the background. On February 5th, I did this. It's called The Book Cover. It was inspired by some book covers. I love book covers. They're probably the best. I read all the best fantasy books ever. You can't fuck with me. It was inspired by those. It doesn't fit on a book cover. It was a little experiment. I really like the blue, I don't know, nervous system that I drew in the background. I can't explain it. That's just what it reminds me of, is the nervous system. Then there's these weird meatballs here that I don't really like all that much. There's a lot wrong with this, but it's pretty alright. It didn't hurt me to make it. It did take quite a while. I remember it took me a while, but... So on February 10th, I created this image of Alina, she's gawking, she's in awe. There's sparkly lights, and possibly, maybe they're fireflies. These squares in the background represent buildings, if that wasn't obvious. Okay, on February 11th, I created Gunna, which is this image of a woman in a little puffer jacket, which is very odd looking. Very blocky, very strange. Her long ass arm is reaching over holding a gun, and there's some more buildings in the background. Obviously, those are buildings. The squares, the big cubes, the big blocks, that's buildings. There's a little bit of fog down there. There's a bunch of lights, a couple of lights, and she's got this weird little dial meter thing in her throat to manipulate her voice, so that she can scream really loud. She can say slurs super loud, maximum volume. Alright, on February 13th, I created Fly Guy. This is a fly guy. He's got a big fly head. These big bulbous, reflective, shiny eyes. There's, once again, more buildings in the background. He's got this big plate chest thing on. He's got these little pouches on it to hold his magazines for his big gun. It's not so big, but big is a good adjective, so I like it. It's big. Big in the sense that it can deal big damage. It can dig. I dig it. And there's a big laser flash. Big. I'm just in a big mood, I guess. There's a laser flashlight on it to blind people as he shoots them, so they never see it coming. And you can see he's got a couple of bars of health here on his chest plate. That represents his health. He's got a nice ass suit shirt with a little tie going there. I like his little fly face. On the same day, I also made these water guns. Pretty good stuff. On February 15th, I drew these freaks. These are Sims characters that I made. On February 18th, I made Fmeal and Mimitel. I created these two disgusting creature characters. Fmeal is the man with the big spiky head and the distorted, grotesque musculature. He's got his fists up, he's ready to smack you in the fucking mouth. And Mimitel's back there playing her clarinet with her big, once again, hat. The horns on it and the eyeballs. She never opens her eyes, she just looks through her hat and plays her stupid little clarinet. She's there to just play the battle music. She's making battle music up as Fmeal is beating people and pummeling them to death with his bare hands and grotesque musculars. On February 20th, I painted Mystical Sphere. This woman is holding her mystical sphere. Why is she holding it? Possibly because she's listening to Steely Dan, Time Out of Mind. She was inspired by those lyrics. So she's holding her mystical sphere in honor of Steely Dan within this castle, courtyard, lake, hallway. On February 27th, I painted Power Man, which is just Fallout power armor. And he's holding a little gun because it's silly. It's silly seeing big bulky man with a little gun. On March 1st, I made these little helmets. The helmets have little doodads on them. They're guitar pedals and switches and LED lights and tubes, because visually that's just interesting. But they are just medieval helmets, adapted, suited to explore outer space. March 2nd, I painted the last one. Yep, it's the last cigarette in the cigarette chest. Only one more left, man. March 7th, I painted the Joy Crusaders. One of my masterpieces this year. You got Alina up there with her AK-47 with smiley face and butterflies and flowers and stars on it. You got Serena there with her little P90 with a little star and butterfly on it. So, you know, we're just spreading joy. We're killing people with happy bullets. They're happy bullets. When they get shot with the happy bullet, they become happy. I mean, really, they're just, it's like mercy killing people, you know. If you're sad and you're getting killed by the Joy Crusaders, I mean, really, they're doing you a favor. And then you got Garn here with his little cat t-shirt and his handgun. I don't think there was a specific handgun in mind. I just drew one just from my mind. And there's a big smiley face in the bottom left. He's not big. I keep saying big. I don't think that's the word to use for that, but he's a smiley face. He's pretty cute. There's that. Big bright colors. Just to brighten your day up. The Joy Crusaders. They're here to make sad people happy with happy bullets. On March 15th, I painted Start Peeling. You better start peeling those grapes, you little slave bitch. Your master's getting hungry. And he will not have those peels in his teeth. He refuses. He's got little teeth. He can't be getting peels stuck in his teeth. That's just not cool. That's not royal. A royal man like this would not have peels in his teeth. He wants the mushy, sugary yum from the grape, the peeled grape. So peel them grapes, you little fucking red bitches, or he'll yank your chains. There's also a big castle structure in the background, which goes hard. On March 20th, I made this, which is for my home screen on my phone. That's the only reason this exists. And also, you know, Alina's here with her little skull plushie dude. He's smoking a cigarette, as well as her. And she's also got her favorite fantasy book right next to her favorite pack of cigarettes. On March 21st, I painted Squidward. An excellent painting. Masterfully done. So loose, so vibrant, so Just, it's yummy. It's good stuff. You can see the torment in this man's face. Squidward is playing his heart and soul out. He's putting every last ounce of his energy, his soul into that clarinet, man. He's going hard. He loves it. You can see it in his face. He's so tortured. You know, he has to deal with SpongeBob all day, man. And Patrick bothering him. Sometimes all a man really needs is just a little bit of music. Just a little bit of creative freedom. On March 25th, I painted SpongeBob to go along with the Squidward. Here he is, in his cheesy ass grin glory. He's flipping patties, because he loves doing it. I think that was actually like the theme that I was going for, was like painting the SpongeBob characters doing what they love, or with what they love. So SpongeBob's here, flipping patties. With his big, that is a big spatula, let's be honest. And his big tie, that is a big tie. I'm trying to use the word big as much as I can. It's a big day. But yeah, SpongeBob's here flipping burgers, making Krabby Patties. On March 28th, I finished Magivol. I named it Magivol. Not sure why, I guess it's just because it's magical and I can't spell. But here's a character that I've drawn before. She does not have a name, but she's dripping, oozing with goo out her organ-looking jacket, cover, vest. There's really no way to describe it. You just gotta look at it. But yeah, there are mushrooms in the background. There's this cool little light, this little lamp thingy, this little flashlight, which is an iteration of the previous version of this that I did. Essentially, I just wanted to recreate that and then, you know, add some more background elements. There are still the little fairies, little fairy lights going on there. I did this. I also did Patrick on April 2nd. I made it Patrick, which is the final of the 3 SpongeBob paintings that I wanted to make. And he's doing what he loves, which is eating Krabby Patties. Hell yeah. He is going to town on the burgers. I wanted to put him in the Krusty Krab. I wanted to have some nice... What am I saying? I just wanted to draw a freak-ass Patrick, just disgusting big belly with the vein. He's got a vein in his belly, that's how big it is. God, he looks gross. He's got his single tooth, ready to chow down. God, his eyes are fucking freaky. Here's some flowers that I painted from imagination after doing some other ones from reference. This was used in order to make my mother a Mother's Day present this year. I just made this for reference and then fucking just freeballed doing it traditionally with acrylic paints. No, it was gouache. It was gouache paints. Yeah, that's this. On April 9th, this is Serena. I finished this painting. She's sitting here in her star room, star space. This is the star room in her peace space, which is her home. It's called the peace space. I don't want to explain anymore. Anyway, she's sitting here just lounging in her epic chair, smoking a cigarette, enjoying some coffee, really stretching out, really getting loose, feeling relaxed. And that kind of inspired me to create more similar to this of my other characters, chillaxing, relaxing in some good spots that they enjoy. But on April 11th, I finished Feed the Machine, which I believe I made a video on. The main idea here is there's this man who is playing this instrument, which is called a guitar, and he's going hard on it, widdly widdly. He's got the whammy bar going. He is feeding this big machine lady with eyeballs in her hair the taste of music, soulful music. And then there's also these higher beings that are happy. They're, well, maybe not happy, but they're content with what's going on. They're not, you know, they're not angry. They're not furiously upset. They're content, which is maybe due to this man feeding the machine sexy tunes, big metal music. Big. Alright, on April 17th, I finished Garn. This is another one of my characters, and he is chillaxing. Since that was kind of the theme I was going for on this little set of paintings, which is, you know, the Serena Garn and then Alina. But yeah, Garn's just sitting here relaxing. I made a video on this, which goes into a little bit more depth as to what's going on. But as you can see, he's got his guitar next to him. He's enjoying a cigarette next to his gun wall. And he's got, somebody left some meat in his house. Not the steak, but the pink shit. And the steak is just his dinner. And he's also lost a guitar pick down under his couch. Alright, on April 27th, I finished Alina, and she's in her favorite spot, which is her bathroom. Yeah, next to the mirror. But you can see yourself in the mirror right there. That little guy, he's watching. That's you. That represents you, the big eyeball. Or whoever looks at this, it's them. Anyway, there's also this cool little mirror frame. I like the mirror frame a lot. It kind of looks like a clarinet on the right side. Or some sort of woodwind instrument. But yeah, she's just sitting there smoking a cigarette in her bathroom. That's pretty much it. On April 28th, I painted him. Yes, this is him. This is the man. He's the one that goes out at night with his laser pointer and points it at people to scare them. They think he's an alien. They think he's a creature. They think he's some sort of higher being that is coming down to probe them. The victims of his attacks are traumatized. They're left in shock. They live their lives thinking that they've been probed, that there's something within them now, that he put something in them, in their mind, and they'll never forget it. They'll never forget it. They're going to be traumatized permanently, destroyed. And all he's doing is just pointing a laser at you. It's harmless, but the mental harm that it causes is lifelong. On April 30th, I painted some Minecraft buildings, which I think was actually like a culmination of a few days of doing this for just a couple minutes at a time. Yeah, there's those. I also painted this on April 30th. I finished this, which is my characters Alina and Serena standing on the meat rock, the meat stone, overlooking the city. It's the meat perch. It's a cool smoking spot. That's why they hang out up there. It's kind of gross though, because you gotta like clean your clothes and stuff after, because they get a little meaty. They get all the meat juice on it, soggy meat juice. But there's also the big skull rock in the river, which goes hard. And you know, there's these buildings in the background. There's a little cathedral, like Colosseum in the middle there. Maybe not Colosseum. That's probably the wrong word. There's also these big mountainous spiky claws, or pincers, antennas. Yeah. On May 5th, I finished the sculptor and the head. This is the head. This is what the sculptor created. The sculptor created this head, smoking a cigarette. I made a video on this painting, and I would rather you just watch that instead of explain it all again. But it's the sculptor. He's just really horny for making sculptures, and he loves doing it. Specifically like cigarette inspired painting or sculptures. Hold on, that was for a second there I think I was talking about myself making paintings about cigarettes. Anyway, no, he makes sculptures about cigarettes because he just loves cigarettes and he loves sculpting. That's his shit. On May 8th, I made Came to See. Alina went to a jazz concert and was enamored by the man playing that jazz piano just excellently. It's the most beautiful thing ever. She sat there among the crowd in her chair. She didn't want to stand, so she brought her chair with her. And then she couldn't forget about how beautiful that jazz piano sounded. Those beautiful tunes. So she created a robot hand that could play jazz piano for her. Instead of just listening to like a recording, no, she just She made a hand that could play music for her live. It's like it's live, but it's not. I think that's what this is. May 16th, I made Serena's hat for The Sims 4 because I just love that design. I made one in real life, and so I figured maybe it'd be easier to make one in The Sims. Actually, I think it was easier to make the real one in real life. It was easier and it was more fun, but that's what this is. It's pretty good. It's fun to see my characters in The Sims and in games in general, or remnants of my characters, at least. On May 20th, I finished Julie, which I made a video on that describes her in more depth, and it's pretty funny. I really enjoy this little tree spirit, man. This little stupid little tree creature. I don't know what it is, but you can see he's got kind of like a sour little face going. His eyes are glowing. His little branches are coming out. He can't really do shit. He kind of just, I mean, from the way he looks, the way I designed this little guy, which I didn't, it just kind of came out while I was painting. I really didn't think too much about it. But the way he is, he's got no hands. He's just got a face and little spider-looking legs. So he would probably just be like an annoying freak. He would probably be just chitter-chattering constantly, because he can't do anything except for walk around and talk. He'd either be really chatty or just really depressed, which I think that's the one I'd prefer. Just having like this little sour man with you. He's just like, whatever. I don't know. It's just, you know, like that kind of stuff going on in your ear. That would really drive you nuts. I think that would drive you more nuts than a chatty fuck. But yeah. Julie's got her cigarette and her gun. She's looking for some cyber vamps to absolutely just execute with that Beretta. She's trying to rank up. She's trying to get her cyber vamp rank higher. Cyber vamp slang rank higher, my bad. Which increases her big arm shoulder thing. It makes it bigger. The higher rank you go, the bigger it gets. Because we love getting big. On May 24th, I finished this 30-minute doodle. Wait, is this the right one? No. On May 23rd, I did Gago Yago Lunder, which is what I would consider visual jazz because it was kind of just all over the place. It was very much just throwing shit down, letting it stick, and working around it, and very, very in the moment, interpretive, just throwing stuff down, which is good. It's good. It's fun. I like this little handheld music device that I created here. It kind of looks like a mirror, like a little handheld mirror or a brush. Man, that tastes like Fruity Pebbles. Not Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops, my bad, wrong one. Fruity, it tasted fruity and sugary and yummy. On May 24th, I did this 30-minute doodle, which is of that other character. It's in the same world as that other character, with the big gun. I did say big, didn't I? That was yesterday. I recorded that. Anyway, yeah, there's this character. She's got a sword, though. And funnily enough, kind of getting medic vibes from this character. Kind of like the more like I'm gonna stay back and protect people that are wounded from the big demon creatures. There's no big demon creatures in this painting specifically, but it's the same world. And there's, you know, lights in the background, little lampposts. Again, I only had 30 minutes to do this, so I really didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe I could paint buildings or scenery in the background, so I just threw down some random shapes that resemble whatnot. But yeah, it's another one of those little military peoples that fight the demons of this world. On May 28th, fuck me. On May 28th, I painted Chauncey. This is Chauncey. He's sitting here walking. You can see he's walking because, like, you know, he's like blurring on the edge. He's walking, and he's got a cigarette in his big lips. And the cigarette spirit is actually trying to steal it from him. You can see it grasping and pulling his face. He's really just trying to ignore it. He's trying to thug it out. You can see in his eyes though, he's like a little, he feels it. He knows it's happening, but he's just trying his hardest to ignore the cigarette spirit behind him, trying to steal a cigarette from him. He's like, no, I don't know. On May 30th, I painted syrup. I don't know why this is called syrup, but, and not syrup, by the way. It's syrup, like S-U-R-R-U-P, not S-Y-R-U-P. I don't say syrup like that. I say syrup, because that's the correct way to say. Anyway, I painted this. It's of my character Alina. She's showing off her big fancy jacket in the city streets of go fuck yourself. she's got a big dagger with her as well, because go fuck yourself. There's a lamp too, because I like lamp. On June 4th, I painted an effigy onto apotheosis. Press the button, all your dreams will come true. I'm being whipped with chains of electricity and lightning. I sun my asshole beneath 3 red suns. Okay, it was something my friend wrote, and it was a lot more than that, than just those things, but that's all I remembered from it. And that's why I made this painting, because it's inspired by my friend's little writing. I think I nailed it perfectly. I think I nailed the exact vibe of his writing and his style of writing for that little story specifically. On June 4th, I painted this, which I entitled Serenity, which I made a video on this. It's inspired by the Death album Leprosy. My bad, it took me a little bit. I was listening to Death like non-stop, and I was actually going insane, so I painted this, which is just my character in the cover art of Leprosy. It was pretty hard. I think I nailed it. June 5th, I painted Gitting. I didn't really paint this, I just kind of doodled it. But anyway, I did this stupid little thing, which I like. I like this. It's more visual jazz, as I call it. It's just no real thought going in, just throwing stuff down, accepting it, and making something very interesting from it. I mean, interesting things do get produced that way. Just putting random junk down and not really getting too stuck to any one part. Just letting it flow. It's very good. June 6th, I painted okay. Or drew this, sketched this. Sketched these. This is okay. Not PNG. Steak. Steak night. Cook out on the weekends. Steak. Ribeye steak. It's Alina. She's wearing her big weird head ornament. And big. I said it again. This massive, I'll use a different adjective, this massive steak back here in the background. It's proportional, by the way. It's not a separate drawing. It's the same room. It's the same blank space. You know when Squidward was in that like future, that episode where Squidward was going to the future and the past, and then he ends up in that like white blank space? That's this place. Except she's with a steak. She's not just alone. You're never alone when you got a big old steak. On June 9th. Fucking son of a bitch. Here we go. On June 9th, I painted Blue Man vibes while the mountain watches him. It's a traditional piece done with gouache. It's very excellently crafted. A lot of detail put into the man's muscular, deformed body. He is just vibing, and that mountain back there, the big red mountain, is watching him. He has no toes, unfortunately, which is very unsettling, I think. But it's a good. I like that. I like that about it. I think I really did get some nice forms here, even though I was in a manic state while painting this. Probably, I'm just gonna assume that was the case. Yeah, there's a mountain with a big eye watching him. That's all I got to say about this. On June 12th, I finished Puzzled. .png, which is it's a good painting. I like this one a lot. This one's really good. I like this weird chair that she's sitting in. She's fiddling with her book doodad, which shoots little bubbles out. She's got her bling bling on her finger rings. She's also got a pearl necklace. This little fluffy fur lined vest dress thing. It's pretty good. I like her long hair, of course. Okay, now to the background. So we got a chair here. We got this nice chair. I really like it a lot. Something about it. It's got good form. It's got real good form. It's so 2D but so 3D at the same time. I love that. I don't know if I'll ever capture something this well ever again. It was really an accident because if you look at the sketches of this, the little thumbnails that I made in preparation for this, it was nothing like this. It was actually more gothic and like spooky and vampire vibes. Not this crazy ass. I don't even know how to describe these vibes. I think that these are just my vibes. But yeah, there's this weird structure thing on the left, which I don't really like too much. I think that could have gone somewhere else. It could have been better. Maybe I'll repaint this one. Anyway, there's also like water in the background. It's almost like a lake of some, I don't know. But there's this weird platform in the background too. Weird. That's all I can say. But that's all it is. I mean, I'm not a wordsmith here. I'm a painter. That's why I paint, is because I can't fucking use my words. So describing it is a little hard. I mean, because how do you describe this imagery when you have this in your head? There's no way you can just describe it. You can't tell someone about this. You can't be like, you can't do it. I was gonna try, but you can't even do it. Alright, June 14th, I finished robbing the memory bank. It's actually called xcvbv32.png. However, this is just, it's robbing the memory bank. You can read it if you can read. Yeah, it's pretty silly. On June 20th, I painted Dreamin'. This is inspired by dreams and lots of other things I was looking at and seeing and feeling at the time. It's good stuff. I drew this goldfish in the sky that's sort of like, it's almost a spaceship. And I think that's just because I saw a spaceship one night when I was out smoking a cigarette at 3 in the morning. I think I saw a spaceship in the sky, and it had like that sort of curvature. It looked like a goldfish. I maybe exaggerated the design slightly to make it more goldfish-esque, but I think this rocks. There's also these big wacky tubes with windows on them, so you can climb up and look out the windows. That was inspired by my dreams. But yeah, you got Alina here just welcoming you into the city of, yeah, you can't really, there's no word. It's the city. There's also a little silhouette of Serena in the background. She's sitting there, just also waiting to welcome you into this weird place, this bizarre land. It's nice. This is heyo.png that I finished on June 23rd of this year. This is a redraw of some of my older characters. Some of them. She has, yeah. I'm losing it here. Okay, so we got this one girl on the left with her Destiny 2 looking SMG, which is from the original drawing. I'm not even gonna lie, I was playing Destiny 2 way too much. Ever since I quit playing that game though, my life has changed dramatically and I've become actually really good at painting, which is odd. And I've really just been in a much better mood, on average, I'd say. Anyway, that's possibly what inspired the SMG in the original drawing, which I will not show because it's pretty horrendous. However, these designs are pretty faithful to the originals. I did redraw the second character here on the right. with her little dragon spirit guy. I did not draw him in this because I was lazy. So there's this one character on the left with her little headphones on, little antennas. I think I was really into drawing that kind of stuff 4 years ago when I drew these characters originally. I gave her a weird wacky arm ornament thingy like I do with most of my characters now, because I feel like it's just boring if you draw people in normal clothes. I need a little bit of different shit, you know. I see people in normal clothes all the time. When I draw them, I want them to be wearing the wackiest shit possible. So I really stretched that, and yeah, fuck off. I drew this robot arm, which I like. The little wires coming out. That goes pretty cool. That goes smooth. Maybe not hard, but it goes smooth. Maybe it goes big. Anyway, she's writing with her little finger laser. Fuck you. Because fuck you. And the character on the right just has her big metal knuckle fist gloves on. And her little insignia on her jacket to signify that she's ready to kick some ass, I guess. Alright, on June 23rd I painted... Wait. Was it the same day? I guess so. Anyway, same day, I painted my new profile picture, which is this. It's me. It's a picture of me with a cigarette and the worm coming out of my ear, because I have those. And it's probably just an earworm. It's kind of like a representation of the fact that, no, I don't, that I'm gay. Alright, so it's just a picture of me with a cigarette and a weird eye and ear. And I think it was actually my friend who said to add the worm. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm totally stupid. Why didn't I think of that? So yeah, it's me. On June 27th, I finished the header, which I was working on at the time of the profile picture. But it just took me so much longer because this is a lot of information to try and like sort through. And like have this looking properly, all these elements to, like, you know, kind of have like a unity to make it look what my brain says right when my brain says yes. You know, getting it to that point is kind of hard when you've got so much like that, like so much abstract shit going on. Anyway, you got here, the horse carried the wizard, and the wizard produced magic, which feeds this head machine, which is a representation of my mind. This is supposed to be my mind. This is supposed to be the wizard that casts the creative magic of my mind. And now I'm able to create art thanks to this wizard on a horse. He came to me. He saw that I quit playing Destiny 2, and he came to me. And he produced the magic that I needed to be creative. This was my birth. This is an image of my birth. Anyway, there's also a big spiky ball, which looks fucking sweet. And there's a coffee down there at the bottom, because I love me some coffee. Yep. Right, June 28th, I finished Butch Bones. This is Butch Bones, Dogga Extreme, Poker Master, and Brass-Necked Bastard. This real deal dog dwells deep in his devilish debt, yet he still manages to win just big enough to slip and slide his way inside any kitty's panties. This was a project that I worked on with my friend, where I drew something for his little story earlier, but this was me drawing something for him to make a story on. It was kind of like a back and forth thing. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed that. I wish we could do more, but he's just kind of a bitch. He never reads messages. Recently he has been, because I've been sending him really silly videos from my car, but that's, you know, it's not actually like getting together and doing something cool. But yeah, there's this one. This one goes massive. It's good. Yeah, Butch Bones with his 3-card poker. For some reason he's got, because I didn't know. I wasn't thinking, I was just throwing shit down. But yeah, he's got his little bling bling on, sipping whiskey. There's Kitty in the background. She's pretty hot, I ain't gonna fucking lie. That's probably the hottest cat I've drawn ever. It's the only one I've drawn like this. I don't think I've ever drawn like furry characters before this. But I think what I captured here is so excellent that I should never touch it ever again. I should never even try. I think this is one of those like one and done, never to be touched ever again. But yeah, Butch Bones is trying to impress Kitty so he can slip and slide into her panties. That's the deal. July 3rd, I finished Leave It Up to Them. Because sometimes you just gotta leave it up to chance, baby. That's it. On July 10th, I finished Serena and the Key, which I made a video on, and forgot that I made a video on it. I need to rewatch it. I do need to rewatch some of my videos. I've not seen them since I clicked upload on them. That's kind of how I do things, is I just throw it out there and just fucking forget about it and keep moving, man. I feel like that's probably the best way to be. Yeah, anyway, there's this. I painted Serena and the Key. She's got a cigarette and a sword, and that's not. I should have drawn like. Never mind. Yeah, she's got a cigarette and a sword, and she's holding this key up with her big robot arm, which I think came out pretty excellently. I also wrote my name Worm here in her wrist, which you can barely even see that, but it's excellent. And yeah, she's got a motorcycle in the background. All these elements, everything makes more sense if I would actually make the comic or finish it, which it is finished. It's just not been done digitally, so I'm not going to share it. It's not in a shareable state currently, but all these elements would make a bit more sense if I did that. And you know what? I might actually start on that. That'll be my New Year's thing. To finish that, to make that a real deal thing, and upload it. To make Serena and the Key official. Alright, July 19th, I finished Yeos. Y-E-O-S. Anyway, he's just waving that little wand around and it's making buildings. He seems to be pretty proud of his work. Even though it takes no effort whatsoever. He's really proud of it. Maybe I should take tips from him. I should be proud of the low effort things that I do. I should post my unfinished art everywhere and be so happy with myself that I'm sharing my unfinished shitty art. That sucks. I hate you. Get off the internet. I don't want to see unfinished shit. I want to see big, finished, epic, sick, and nasty paintings. Get real, you know? So here's this. He's just using his wand to make buildings. And it's really distorting this landscape around him. He's got real bling bling going on. That's a big chain. I think mentally I was trying to go for like the fact that he's part gold man. He's like part made out of gold. But I think it's funnier to think that that's just a big chain. Just a big thick ass chain necklace. On July 23rd, I made this drawing of this forearm lady again. I redid it because the first one was decent. However, I wanted to redraw it because I wanted to see how far it had come since that first original drawing. I wanted to see how much better I'd gotten. I wanted to improve on it. And while I think that I did it a little bit better, I like the poncho thing on this one a lot more. I don't care too much for the swords here. I think that, you know, I got a little too wacky with them. I should have just kept the original designs, just simple swords, because I mean she's already kind of a freak, but she's got 4 arms. This poncho thing looks sweet though. I like the designs on it. You got like a flower, you got some spaceship looking shit, another flower, another flower, another flower, some stars, some space technology, weird wacky stuff. Love that. She's holding a bell so she can summon her allies. It's kind of like Bloodborne. But yeah, and then there's this weird stuff in the background. I wanted to draw buildings, but was not wanting to draw buildings, if that makes any sense. There's also the sketch version that I did, just to get the idea out. On July 24th, I did this Squirt sketch. This is my character Squirt. But I just wanted to freak around with some line art, see how that would work. It doesn't. Alright, on July 25th, I painted this, which is my character Alina, of course. I went wacky with it. She's got a face on her arm. She's got this little hand crank, wrist machinery. Very robotic looking, very interesting. Lots of weird stuff going on here, and I like it. I do really like this bubbly, smoky thing on the left. That's neat. And you got these pointy designs, these little features. I don't know what to call these things. Yeah, she's got a cigarette in her mouth, of course. Which this is a part of a bigger painting. I did the rest of these in no time at all, really. Didn't spend much time on these. I just wanted to make something wacky, wild, and let my brain do its thing. Yum. I did this as well. On July 24th, I finished a sketchbook, and this is the final page of it. It's pretty good. I wanted to draw my characters, of course. So you've got Alina on the left. She's holding a dagger and a cigarette. There's some wizard towers, some weird flora. You got like a mushroom there. There's alien spaceships in the sky, and a butterfly. Then you got Garn up here in the middle, who has something with an eyeball in it above him, above and behind him. He's got an evil t-shirt on. He's also summoning the American spirit with his hand. And there's a little horse back there on the pedestal. And some swords flying in from the sky. Then down here, you go a little bit lower, you got this skull and this star orb trailing down to Serena, who's smoking a cigarette. She's got some little stars next to her because she loves stars. And on the right here, you got Julie, who is being trailed. You got this little figure in the doorway here, who is another one of my characters that I've not drawn outside of just sketching them. Just a little mystery. Maybe a little bit of a rival for Julie. The rival, Cyber Vamp Slayer. Yeah, Julie's got her big assault rifle here, and some more guns drawn next to her. And then on the very right here, it says the end, because it was the finished sketchbook page. It was the last page in the sketchbook. It's great. On July 29th, I did fin5.png. I did this in MS Paint. It's this girl. She's got some wacky stuff going on here. She's got weird scars that go to whiteness, just pure white. Her eyes are glowing pink. She's got a sick little jacket on with some little buttons. She's got big boobies. This wacky arm coming out. I like that arm, it's good. And then these cool patterns in the background that I made. And I like these patterns a lot. I don't do much pattern and abstract stuff like this very often, but when I do, it clicks. Really enjoy it. She's got this weird skirt on as well. It's purple and pink. On August 6th, I painted this character, which was a draw this in your style that I did on Twitter. And I also did this on August 6th, which is much better. It's for my homie boy, my homie G, the Joe Man himself. This was for his Spotify playlist. He wanted me to make a new image for it, and I got to it. And so I made his charred man from Gary's mod that he loves so much. I made his charred man with Majima's eye patch, dressed up and posed like Patrick Bateman listening to music, because it's a Spotify playlist. I mean, it makes sense. Why is this in here? Alright, August 9th, I did this 3D model of a building. Of some building. I guess there's multiple buildings in this. I did this, I think I used a reference, but I don't have that picture anymore. And I wasn't really trying to make it completely super accurate, like 100% accuracy, because I think accuracy is not the play. It's more the just your own expression of these references that matters. I did this 3D model, added some lights to it, decided, you know what, I'm going to paint over this. I'm going to add a character to this. I'm going to paint over the background, make it look sweet, sick, nasty. And so I did that, and I finished that painting on August 10th. It's called Yo, You Dropped Your Glip Lorp No Thingy. This girl here is pointing out that you dropped your Glip Lorp No device. She's got some sweet ass tattoos. They're like glowing. She's obviously got a cigarette, because who doesn't smoke cigarettes? You got to. They're the yummiest. In the background, you can see this building a little bit painted out. I stuck to those lights, stuck with where they were placed. There's another building in the background, a little doorway at the bottom. It's kind of like a little street view, except it's like this overcrowded, real tight streets. I was thinking kind of like Bloodborne. Again, I don't know why that's popped into my head twice now today, but it's sort of like Bloodborne. You're walking around these streets, and it's just building on building on building. I've never seen a place like this in real life, so that's why it was just kind of inspiring to me. That wasn't really what was inspiring me at the moment of painting this, but I can see that's a similar direction to that. Okay, what am I saying? August 11th, I painted. I did paint the textures of these, but I 3D modeled these stakes. Well, one, and then I duplicated it, but these are some 3D models of stakes. I made this pretty quickly. I think it took me like 30 minutes, but it's pretty good. I'm always thinking about ribeye steaks. They're so delicious. They're delectable. I've seen so many. I've eaten so many. They're lovely. And so I wanted to make this in honor of how lovely ribeye steaks are. I really like this. They look cool. They're very low poly, but it just works. On August 12th, I painted Can't Run. And as you can see in this painting, this man here, he's on the run. He's running from a spirit, a spectral ghost of sorts. This eyeball thing that's been following him. It's been tracing him, tracking him down. I was thinking sort of Resident Evil. You know, you got... I don't even know the characters of Resident Evil. I don't know their names. But I just like... I was thinking, you know how... I don't even know which game it is. But there's always that big dude. In two of them, there's that big dude chasing you around. I guess there's always someone chasing you around. But I was thinking that, though. It's kind of like that. You're just walking around this building that you're stuck in, and there's this weird freak chasing you around, except it's a spirit, and it's grasping your leg. He's also got a meat freak creature on his back, who looks like he'd have a British accent. Very British accent. He'd be doing funny quips. He'd be doing the annoying thing that every video game does now. You know, you've got that one character that just never shuts the fuck up, and he explains everything that's going on all the time, as if you really need that, as if you can't think and feel and see for yourself. You need Robot Man to explain everything to you. You need stupid game character that's really annoying to explain everything. So that's what he is. I guess that's what he represents. Now, it's funny because I was not thinking of any of this when I painted this, but now that I'm seeing it, it's like it's clicking, it's making sense. So yeah, this ghost is grabbing at this man's leg, trying to halt him from solving mysteries and puzzles and such. August 13th, I painted Dog. This is my dog. She's got some little patches on her sweet denim jacket, spiked denim jacket. She's quite big, let's be honest. But she's got a little skull. She's got the Funny Man logo. She's got a star, all patches on her little jacket here. And she's got this little star wrapped around her thigh here, with an eyeball on her knee, and another patch on the other knee. Because I guess that eyeball got fucked up somehow. Maybe she skint her eyeball knee. And then she's got these big boots on. Big jacket, big boots, big pants, big dog bitch. Oh, and you can't forget she's got this plaid scarf thingy. There you go. Thingy is the best word to use for anything you don't understand. She's pretty cool. one of my favorite characters that I've never drawn since this moment. Let's go. I painted these on August 15th. I painted 2 Deltarune characters. There was Rousey and then Susie. I'm not gonna like linger on these, but there's also, I painted, instead of the Deltarune logo, I painted the Queensryche logo because that's much cooler. Alright, August 23rd. I painted Garn. I made a video on this one, so you can watch that. It's got one of the best stories I've written. One of the best, probably the best story I've written, by far. You know, he's sitting here with his monster drink in hand, icy cold. He's got a cigarette in his mouth, it's lit, smoking hard. He's got his cow shirt on, and of course he's holding a ribeye steak. Because why not? I love this, it's a good one. And that story that I wrote was perfect for it because, you know, I painted this and then wrote the story. I had no idea what I was going to do, and it all just, I put it all together. I put all the puzzle pieces together to make it make sense. I love doing that. It's just fun. Alright, August 29th, I painted this. I really don't know what to say about this. You got this woman here who's wearing a very interesting style choice here on this woman. There's a sad little ghosty goo on her shoulder, I guess, is the most concrete thing I can explain about it. And there's like this little fluffy, ruffly long sleeve on the right, on her right arm, the left of the painting. She got this sweet little belt with little designs in it, little. There's some sort of red material coming from her jacket as well, which is a little mysterious. Of course, she's wearing one glove. I really love this painting. There's something about it that's just absolutely brilliant. The background as well, very abstract. I was going for sort of like banners and drapery with those yellow things at the top. It came out very weird. I like it though. And of course there's a star in the back right, just to like add a little bit of color. I think that's mainly why a lot of this is here, is just to make an interesting image without being specific, which is just abstract art. I think is just using color to make interesting appearing imagery. When I started this, I was actually going for more of a classical styled piece, sort of like just a beautiful fine piece of art. And about midway through, I got really bored and just went insane. So that's how this came to be. And that's just the life of me in general, is trying to do something simple, and then it just turns into so much more, and it becomes incredible. It's wild. On September 2nd, I painted my character from The Sims 4, Sin Scrath. This is her. She's sitting in her, maybe not sitting, she's within, confined by her devilish, satanic house. It was built by Satan himself, me, the most evil design possible. This is one of the little rooms where she had a blue velvet love seat, and a TV about, I don't know, 2 feet away from it. And in the background of this window here, which goes to a hallway, by the way, you've got Serena and Alina peering in maliciously. Maybe not maliciously, but menacingly. That's a good one. Thanks, SpongeBob. And on the right, I do that star again because I like that star design on that last painting. I was like, that's sweet. And that's that. Alright, on September 4th, I actually painted that star again. Except this time I did it traditionally, with acrylic paints, and I like it. It turned out pretty sweet. For some reason, just drawing that star like I did those last 2 paintings, it was just cool. I thought it was freaking sweet. So on September 4th, I just decided, it's time, baby. Let's paint this bitch for real. I like it. It's evil looking. It's spooky. Maybe not spooky. I think spooky's not the right word for it, but it's violent. There you go, it's violent. You know, it's weird looking at it on my wall right now. It looks a little bit different than this picture. Anyway, on September 5th, I painted Queen and Yomi, which is one of my favorite paintings from this year. On the left here, you've got Queen. She's smoking a cigarette, which is producing a green heart glow. Her nose is also glowing green, because the cigarette light is that bright. No, I don't know why that's like that. It just looks sweet. Then you got this weird eyelash thing on the right of her face. Not sure what that is, but it looks cool. Once again, not sure about anything, but it always just looks cool. Then you got this character on the right who's named Yomi. I think that was because I was trying to spell homie, but I thought Yomi was funny. I like playing with words too. That one's a fun one. Yeah, she's got a real wacky eye. She looks like she bought weed from a gas station, let's be honest. And she's got a sweet little leather jacket on. I think leather and plastic. The blue stuff I like to think is just plastic. And the dark blue stuff is leather. And she's got this weird metal robot arm. I'm going to be saying a lot of the same words because I haven't written a script for this. It's just right off the brain. Then you got this weird, big, green thing in the top left, which I like to just think is Queen's way of communicating. I like to think that that's how she communicates. Instead of saying words, she just points her finger up, just like that, and conjures these shapes which describe what she's trying to convey. It's incoherent, obviously. You don't know what she's trying to say. Maybe she's trying to say, fuck you, or get real, or give me another cigarette, or I like dogs. It doesn't matter. It looks cool. That's kind of just how my brain works when it comes to art. That's my general ideal, is if it looks cool. And I have to say, I think this looks cool. There's a lot going on. Maybe not a lot, but there's some weird stuff going on in the background. Some interesting stuff. There's like trees and... Are those trees? I can't really explain what those are. I think of organs very often. So maybe it's organs. Maybe it's guts. Let me just move on. On September 7th, I painted Tragic Boredom. This man here is sitting in his writing room, his study. It's a fancy one. He's got a little friend on his shirt here, around his neck. It's like a bow tie, but it's face and little earrings. I like to think of it's kind of a cat-like face too. I like to think of it as some sort of divine being, some divine spirit that he worships. He's wearing around his neck as like an ornament. It's kind of like, you know, people see people with like a cross necklace, except this is just a bow tie of his god. Anyway, he's bored as fuck. He's smoking a cigarette and he's dreaming of big buildings. Big. And there's clouds going through the buildings. It's bizarre scenery. The most interesting stuff comes when you're bored as hell. So, you can tell this dude's tragically bored. September 10th, I painted Yo-Yo Lands. That's what I named it. It's a little landscape that I did. There's some rocks here. There's a tree in the foreground, a little fallen tree in the foreground. Then some rocks with grass. There's a little hill behind that. It goes down to this big tree on the left. Big! And then it kind of falls off and becomes a poop shit mess in the background because I don't think I was using the best tools for this. I was using digital and I was using brushes for everything instead of like doing lasso tool stuff, which would have been much better. There's not many hard edges, which kind of, that's probably a big reason why this isn't the greatest. It's very mushy, it's very... There is a wizard tower that's glowing in the background. That's pretty sweet. Alright, September 13, I painted I can't even pronounce what I named this, but this is my character Alina. She's dressed up like a princess. Why not? And there's this thing in the background. She's leaning against this wall, which has a... Okay, this thing in the top right here, I keep wanting to call it a pineapple, but it's just... It's not that. It's not even what a pineapple looks like, but every time I see it, I think of pineapple. Anyway, she's smoking a cigarette, of course. September 15th, I painted, digitally drew, suckitbitch.png. Which I renamed Tidal Wave Home and Heart because of the Twitter caption for this, which I'll just read that. I think that explains this the best. A wizard told me home is where the heart is. He then proceeded to cast a spell that summoned a tsunami within my chest, subsequently destroying my home and heart forthwith. September 16th, I painted Joe Bird for my homie G once again. My homie Joe, rather. Yeah, he's flying around on the skateboard. Hell yeah. Sweet. Sick nasty. Cool deal. There's clouds in the background. September 23rd, I painted these buildings, yo. Yep, there's a little street down there. There's like little tiny people, which are hazy. You barely even tell there's people down there. There's also an eyeball in the river. Quite spooky. And in the distance you see larger buildings. Big buildings. And then there's clouds and a big sun. Big. Maybe not so big. The sun ain't that big. It is a big sun, but when you're looking at the painting, you know, comparatively to everything else, it's not that big of a sun. I mean, the eyeball is the same size, so it's really just it's the sun. I painted, yeah, I done as well, or drew this in no, not MS Paint, brother. I'm losing it here. I drew this as well with a brush. This character's got some weird lippers going. I like the lippers. I don't know what this, I think it's a girl. Yeah. It's got eyelashes, it's a girl. Okay. She's got little freckles, big lippers. Some strange hair ornaments going on here. There's flowers coming out on the left. It says, hey. On September 27th, I did a traditional landscape painting because I was not satisfied by the digital one. So I did this with acrylic. I think it's better than the digital one, for sure. There's a bit more going on here. Mainly just, there's two trees. That was all I was going for. It was like, let's do a tree and then another tree. Mountains in the background, right? Fantasy colors. And then rocks in the foreground. And then I accidentally painted flowers and just went with that. Yeah. On October 2nd, I did a drawing for myself because it was my birthday. I finished this up, which is a painting of Alina and Serena. Serena is handing Alina a cigarette. I know I named them that. I named them intentionally annoyingly. Yeah, Serena's reaching around real long style, handing a cigarette as well. Alina's wearing her sweet ass jacket that I designed for a weird little concept I was rocking with at the time. I have not done anything else with it, so it was kind of like a story, or yeah, it was a story. I like the hat though. The hat with the horns on it, that's sweet. And the rib cage, like chest vest armor thing. I really don't know. It's just an ornament, a decoration. Why do I use so many silly words? On October 6th, I actually did another traditional painting. This one was of David Lynch. That's it. On October 10th, I finished my Halloween painting. Of course, you've got Cornelius Johnson, the Skeleton Man, the Skeleton Wizard Bastard. There's Alina dressed up like a pirate, and then Serena in the background dressed up as a cowgirl. Cowboy. Yep. I fuck with this. This goes hard. And of course there's tombstones trailing off in the background, so you can, follow that to the big castle church thingy. It's a church because it's got a cross on the top. And then, yeah, there's more, less detailed buildings on the right. And guess what? There's also a big moon. There you go. On October 12th, I did another traditional painting. This is Easter Island heads. My favorite. Love it. That's it. It's just a big blank blue sky. I really like that part. The no clouds in the sky is just blue. One solid blue color. For some reason, I just love the way that looks. It's bizarre. And honestly, these little fucking heads, maybe they're not little. They actually are big. The big Easter Island heads are bizarre looking. They're otherworldly. So with this big blank blue big sky in the background, it's bizarre imagery, and I enjoy that. This one proudly sits upon my wall because it is beautiful. October 16th, I did this. Have a buzz. Let me read this. Does work have your brain begging for mercy? Putting one of our electric cigarettes in your mouth sure beats putting a gun in it. And they keep you buzzing away. Yep, have a buzz, baby. I like this, but I don't. Like, the idea, much better than the execution. I think I could redo this much better. It was good, but only in the sense that it achieved its goal, which was to make this idea more solid than just a sketch and the words written out in my scratchy little handwriting. Okay, October 17th. You guessed it. I painted some cows. Traditionally. With acrylic. I like the big blue sky on the last one. The Easter Island heads. I really love that big blue sky. That big blue sky. And I wanted to try more normal stuff. Normal imagery. Real imagery. That's really what I was craving at this time in my life, was real imagery. Because all my other art that I make is super bizarre and none of it's real. It's all wacky, abstract craziness. And I wanted some normal, real stuff. So that's why I was doing these traditional ones and was picking these subjects. And because I like these subjects. You know, cows are cool. I really like cows. They're tasty. They're by steak. So I wanted to paint some of them. And this one it's got some pretty decent depth to it. Maybe. I used a reference picture for it. It's decent. It works. It serves its purpose. It rests upon my wall and looks good. Right next to the Easter Island heads. So. Already, on October 22nd, I did this portrait of Alina. It's good. I really like this. I wanted to bring back that weird design that I made for the 3D model that I painted. Jesus Christ, man. I wanted to bring back the design that I made for that 3D model of this character that I made last year. And spruce it up a little bit, paint it, give it some real depth instead of just a low poly model. I really was just hankering for a portrait. Hadn't done just a hadn't done just a portrait in a while. I think it'd been like a couple weeks. Anyway, sometimes I'm all over the place with my ideas. Okay, I think you got Alina here. She's wearing her hat, her cool little hat. Why do I say little and big so much? She's got this fancy hat with ears on it. I think those are ears. And horns, of course. This aerodynamic arrow pointing down towards her face. She's wearing her eye patch, yep. And she's got that vest on, that little ornament, the ribcage ornament. With it, which, it's got a little eyeball on it. God fucking... She's wearing her ribcage ornament, which has an eyeball on it. In it. And it's got little doodles on it. She's been doodling on it. She's been adding little stars to it. A little flower. Some hearts. There's a little skull on the right if you can just barely see that. Zoom in. I had a lot of little details like that to it. I think that really brought it to life. It gave it lots of character. I really enjoy this one. It's maybe one of the best that I've done. It's also the scene that I painted on the right of it, which has some wacky stuff going on. I was thinking of like a vertical city where it's layered on top of, like, layer on layer, stacked. What's that called? What's that called in SimCity? Arcology. There you go. It's kind of like the SimCity arcology is what I was thinking. I guess that was it. I don't think I knew about that at this point when I was painting this, but that's what it is now to me as I look at this. It's kind of an arcology. It's within one of those. That's where this is. So yeah, there's also this. I painted a red ball floating around the landscape of my mind. It's me. This is me. Searching for ideas in this wasteland of my head. Alright, on October 29th I did, of course, the Serena portrait. If I was going to do Alina, I had to do Serena, so there you go. They are two peas in a pod. I cannot do one without the other. So, there's this. I enjoy this arm design. I think this is my favorite one so far. I go through a lot of them. It's gone through many iterations, and I think I have finally decided to just stick to one, which will be this. This will be the one. It's weird. I like just making shit that fits the painting rather than making something that I have to fit the painting around. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of having very consistent, solidified designs, I prefer to just allow the painting and all of its parts to make decisions for the design, if that makes sense. There's really there's no way for me to explain it. Anyway, this is a portrait of Serena that I did. She's got her silly hat on and her big robot arm. Big? No, it's long. It's long. It's not big. I like the eyeball in it, though. This is really one of the coolest designs that I've made for this arm, though. Obviously, there's more little doodles on it. Done by Alina, because she does the doodles. Serena didn't do this. There ain't no way she's reaching her arm over like that to do that. Well, maybe she took it off to do it. No. Anyway, November 8th, I finished the Joy Crusaders poster. Here they all are, the three of them. You got Alina down there smoking a cigarette. You got Garn holding his box of cigarettes. Wearing his cow t-shirt. Staple. It's a staple now. It was a cat. It was evil. Now it's just Cal. And then you get Serena back there with her then you got Serena back there with her long arm. I really like the designs in the background here. These patterns. They look good. It was a total accident. I really like the gradient. I did some layer effect stuff. I think it's just exclusion or something. I don't know, actually. I don't remember. But I liked it. The pattern design thingy. It was gonna just be black and white, but I wanted to make it green because I really like The Sims. And The Sims always has that big green plumb bob. I enjoy that. So I was inspired by The Sims to do that, and then the pattern just kind of came to be this color. And I really like text that says the Joy Crusaders there. That's good. This isn't really what I was going for when I started this, because I wanted to make a poster of this, but it was going to be a bit more fancy and cool. Yeah, I gave up on that, so I just did this one. It's still good, I like it, so it's my characters, that's all I wanted. Alright. On November 12th, I did this Skyrim thingy. It's a mock journal page from my Skyrim character, Subicon, who is living her wizard life. Stupid little wizard life. Smoking all of the smoking all of Tamriel's tobacco. Here she is, perched up on a mountain, on a cliffside, enjoying the sights and sounds of nature, watching the eagles fly, meditating on her magical powers. And there's this sweet ass, I don't know what this is even called. It's a design. It is a design, but like a motif. This pipe. The pipe looks good. On November 13th, I did a charcoal drawing of that portrait that I did that I really liked. On November 14th, I had a really zinger of a brain blast. And so I decided to paint I gotta stop right now. On November 14th, I did this mod for Skyrim. I made the Serena hat. Serena's hat, my character Serena. I put her hat into Skyrim. It's not perfect. I just wanted to get it in there. I wanted it to work before I made it look good. So here it is. I still have not gone back to fix it. The issues that it has, like it being shiny for some reason. But I'm glad that I did this. It's pretty good. I can travel around Tamriel, smoking all my Tamriel tobacco, wearing my Serena hat. It's a lovely thing. I'm extremely proud of myself for getting this to work. On November 16th, I did this cool sketchbook page. That's it. It's just a neat little page. You got this girl here with her revolver next to Robot Man who's really cold. He's shivering. He's cold, Robot Man. Then there's some wacky stuff going on in the background. There's like this star platform with the Demon Man on it. And then there's a character of mine who is... her tits are out. That's cool. And she's got a weird wacky arm and a dagger. Then in the bottom right and top left, there's some abstract shape stuff. I really like those parts of it. Those really add to the quality of this page, the essence, the energy that this page provides. It's a good one. I like this. On November 21st, I finished what.png, which is this. I made a video on this, which explains most of it. It adds a little story to all these elements that I mindlessly drew and painted. She was taking a shit with her little smiley ball man, smoking a cigarette and explaining her exciting bed life to this man. This ball. I really like the brain on this page. That's a good brain. Really nailed that brain up there. I used a reference picture of my own brain. I just took it out real quick to look at it, see what it looked like. Held it in my hands, and really just perfectly executed that. On November 27th, I finished yes.png, titled Blue Man, actually. So here's the Blue Man and this big nose lady smoking a cigarette. The Blue Man visited me. He came to me when I was sleeping. As soon as my head hit that pillow, I saw him. I saw that Blue Man grinning. He's got such a cheeky little grin on him. He looks so happy. He looks so content. He likes watching the cigarette woman smoke. The big nose cigarette woman. Makes him happy. He's got his wacky little jacket on with a couple of collars, because I like the way that looks. And the big nose lady, she's in there smoking her cigarette. She's got weird eyes, some strange eyes going on there. And she's got this cool little necklace. There's a big watch in the background. And some more abstract stuff that just really pulls this thing together. I really like this. It's a pleasant one. On December 5th, I finished Queen Welcome Home. Here she is, it's Queen again. And in this painting you can see that she's received the key to her new house. It's a little bit of a work in progress. As you can see on the left, it's completely empty. And on the right you can see her bathroom. The floor is a little messed up. It's missing some tiles. There's some meat undulating underneath the missing tiles. She's really got to get that covered up. We can't have meat loose in the bathroom. We got to cover that up. You know, when you have friends and family over, they're not going to want to be seeing the meat in the bathroom. That's just weird. So she's going to have to work on that. And also, she's going to have to get a new mirror, because it seems that hers is broken. Because, I mean, as you can obviously see here, there's a man. That's not Queen's reflection. There's a man and some clouds there in the reflection of this mirror, and he's playing a trumpet. He's playing it extremely well. It's beautiful stuff. He's playing his favorite Chet Baker songs, and he really needs to find a new mirror, because this is Queen's. This is her house. Maybe she'll just move this mirror to her other room. You know, he can be the entertainment for her guests and friends and family. You know, he can just play his little trumpet for everybody in the room. It's just a little awkward when you have to go take a poop and he's just going hard on that trumpet. It doesn't really fit the vibe. Trumpet, beautiful trumpet playing is not the vibe for taking a poop. Anyways, you can see that she's extremely happy. She's written here on the left in the green wiggly stuff that, you know, she's enjoying this new house. She's in love with it. It's perfect for her. She's able to smoke indoors. That's great. She's got a cool little tattoo, by the way. You can see that now on this painting. She's got this cool glowy tattoo. But yeah, it also just says welcome home on the left. I didn't really know I didn't want to put too much on the left side. I wanted to leave it sort of empty to show that it's a new house, but I felt a little empty on that side, so I wanted to add that little bar of text that says welcome home. It's good stuff. On December 9th, I finished another sketchbook, and here's the final page of it. As you can see, we got Serena in the top left. Then there's a little gun pointing up to this royal skeleton. He's got a crown. He's got that king's cape with the little dots on it. Love that. Then there's some shapes and a couple of freaks. This one on the very right is holding a cigarette and a flower. The one underneath the skull is, I don't know, he's just vibing or something. It's a couple little flower looking things. And then you got in the very bottom left, there's me. It's a self-portrait of me about to get run over by a car. And right next to that is the man recording that about to happen. He didn't want to miss that. He wanted to be able to relive that moment. And then on the very right here, it says the end with the date, 12/9/2025. Very beautiful stuff, honestly. It's my best ever. Those numbers that I drew there, gosh, those look so good. Anyway, and then there's a little guy chilling in the bottom right. So that was the finished page of this entire sketchbook. I'd rather just show the finished pages rather than all the in-between parts, because those are a little all over the place. Sometimes you get a good one like the one I showed earlier, but Most of it is just like this. It's just a bunch of wacky stuff. Random, wild, small little doodles. Alright, on December 13th, I finished playing the Globulubitron. Yep, this is a revisit of one of the first few that I did this year. That I didn't actually finish, but I showed it anyway. And while I was making this video, I kind of decided, yeah, I probably should finish that. Redo it. See how it could look. I wanted to see it progress. I wanted to see how much better I had gotten. And I like this a lot. This is a really good one. She's obviously sitting there playing her Globulubitron, which is what I've named this instrument that she's playing. She's still got the little cat paw ear things on her head. She's got her little diamond forehead ornament. And she's wearing that little freak cape, as I described it earlier. That freak cape. I like the switches and buttons on the Globulubitron. That looks really good. I don't like that I named it the Globulubitron because it kind of sounds like some Rick and Morty shit. But it's a little late now. I'm not changing that. And yeah, this is just a cool piece overall. I like this. I'm not a big fan of the cape, but everything else is fine. Alright, on December 15th, I painted my spirit animal. And this is it. It's a horse, because I like horses. They're cool. They're fast. They're strong. They're powerful. They're free. And then he's got goat horns, because I really like metal music. Death metal, epic goat horns. We got the eagle wings on this horse, which represent freedom once again, but also the fact that I love American Spirit cigarettes. And then there's a squirrel tail, because squirrels are silly little guys just like me. Alright, then on December 16th, I did this traditional portrait of Alina. She's sitting here at her little couch thingy. She's got her cushion. She's caressing her pillow with a cigarette hand. She's got a cool little necklace going there. And there's some mirrors or something in the background. Yeah. And then for the final painting of the year, on December 27th, I painted It's Over. That's what I titled this because it's over for a lot of things. This represents the ending of a couple little things. Number one, this story. As you can see from the beginning of this year when I painted this character, she was in dire need of some help. She was really just begging anyone to help her kill this big demon monster. And it looks like a bunch of people, whoever was helping was not helping good enough. They were missing their shots, wasting ammo, completely didn't get all the weak spots, dealt such little damage, not big damage, little damage. Very sad. So they had to flee the city and leave it to just be destructed. They had to just leave the city and watch it be destroyed from afar. They escaped on motorcycle. Unfortunately, they've run out of gas, so now they're here. They've only got one med kit left, and they just have to watch from the sidelines as their beautiful city gets destroyed by this demon, this big demon monster. It's a sad time. It's over. It's the end. Here's also that other character that I drew earlier, except this time I made her a medic. Because, yeah. And I also drew that helmet. Hell yeah. Gave her a sweet ass fucking helmet. I like that. It's pretty good stuff. It's a good finale to the year. It's the end of the year. It's over. I've done it all. These are all the paintings that I've done this year. Not all of them, but a good most of them. I didn't include many sketches. I did a few. I left a few in here. Anyway, that was this. That was the end of this. All of these paintings were a great time. Sometimes a terrible, horrific time. mostly a great time. It's definitely a great time now, looking back. I enjoy looking back at all these things. Some of them I probably did not enjoy making, but I got through it. I'm better for that. I'm just glad I did all this. It was a lot, but it was very worth it. Very beautiful, very good.